Hey everyone, it's Bailey from Making Up the Midwest, and in this video, I'm going to share with you how to get Taylor Swift's 2013 People's Choice Awards makeup look. Let's get started. As always, I'm priming my eyes. This is the Balm's Put a Lid on an Eye Primer, and I'm using that all over my eyelid, up to beneath my eyebrow, as well as underneath my lower lash line, because quite a few products go there and you don't want any of them budging. All the shadows I use in this look come from the Coastal Scents Metal Mania palette, which is pretty affordable, and I happen to stick to this really warm, coppery corner here for almost all of the shadows. So I'm starting with a fluffy blending brush from e.l.f., which is just $1, going into the copper shade just second above the top on the far right-hand side, and I'm sweeping that into my crease. And you'll notice I'm taking the shadow all the way up until almost the bridge of my nose to where it's touching the inner part of my eyebrow, and that's because that's where Taylor had it. It really is a full-on smoky copper eye. Then I take what's left on the brush and blend it down onto my eyelid. Taking the same brush and going into the shade just beneath the one we just used, I'm using that to kind of deepen up the outer part of this look. It's a really subtle change and you don't necessarily need it, but it helps. Then moving up and to the left, I'm taking this light champagne shade and sweeping that on the moving part of my lid. Using a pencil brush, I'm laying down that last copper shade that we just used and putting that underneath my lower lash line. And she had pretty heavily rimmed eyes, so feel free to lay the copper on relatively thick. Now going in with a new shader brush into this super light white champagne shade, I'm placing that on my inner corner as a highlight, as well as on top of my brow bone, which I did not end up recording, but it's there, I promise. This next product is the only one in the tutorial that isn't from the drugstore. It's a Mally liner, just a black liner, and what I wanted to use was a Revlon Grow Luscious liner, but I couldn't find one, but that's what I would recommend to you. I'm just using that to line my upper lash line as well as rim my waterline. Then going in with that same pencil brush, use that to really smudge that black liner out and really create the smoky part of this smoky eye. This look is definitely not complete without lashes. These are not actually by Georgie Beauty, they're by Kiss, but I love this case. And I chose these because they are big and long and really flared out at the end. It's exactly what she was wearing for this award ceremony. And I'm using Kiss Pro Lash Glue to apply that, which is probably my favorite. Pressing those onto the upper lash line, and then we move on to the next step. Moving on to mascara, I'm using CoverGirl's Clump Crusher to blend my real and fake lashes together, and this is a great mascara I find to do this because, well, it doesn't clump, kind of like the name suggests. It is not even summertime. Then if you find you want to blend your lash band into the liner you've already laid down a little bit more, I'm using a Revlon Cream Gel Liner to just swipe along there so that it doesn't look too harsh, but it kind of hides that lash band a little bit better. Onto the face. So because I have a little bit of redness in my skin and Taylor has a pretty even skin tone, I'm using this green Photo Finish primer by Smashbox and just running that mainly down the center of my face and then spreading it out as I have some left. Then I'm using this CoverGirl True Match foundation, which obviously is one of my favorites, but it's already gone, putting that on the back of my hand and then using this Real Techniques buffing brush to blend it all over my face. At the top of the roof of the house sits the bed of the year getting dark. One thing I forgot to do on the eyes was the brows. Now Taylor doesn't have very filled in brows, so I'm just using this e.l.f. brow gel to shape them, and hers are pretty messy looking in this look, so I'm just kind of messing them up and over and roughly shaping them. So Taylor doesn't have much going on in the way of color on her face, so I'm just using this Instant Cheekbones contouring blush by CoverGirl, the center shade there, and a e.l.f. contour brush to gently create some shape. Then to add the tiniest bit of color to the cheeks, I'm using this Revlon Photo Ready Sculpting Blush Palette in Pink Rose. I'm taking the blush shade from that palette, using that same blush brush, and just sweeping that right behind the apples of my cheeks. This tutorial is just all out of order. I forgot to conceal, so this is Revlon's Photo Ready Concealer in the shade 1, and I'm using that to just lightly conceal my under eye area. I have a slight discoloration, and then I'm using that, or my finger, to pat and blend that out. Falling concealer to blank out my lips a little bit, which, you know, kind of looks a little scary sometimes. But then I'm going in with this NYX lip liner in the shade Beige, and I'm first lining and then filling in my lips. Now you'll see that I kind of swing this shade in on my upper lip to recreate the thinner upper lip that Taylor Swift has. This obviously is completely optional and you definitely don't have to do it. I just want to see exactly how close I can get to looking like Taylor Swift. So to top the liner off and to finish the look up, I'm using L'Oreal's Infallible Lip Gloss. This is in the shade Coral Sands and placing that all over my lips, or the, you know, lips I've created look like Taylor Swift's. And that is it. That's all you need to create this look. So I hope you guys enjoy learning how to get Taylor Swift's red carpet look using primarily drugstore stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!